snow up your way?
There is.
We do just up in the Fog Hill and west of Rockland there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we call this meeting of the South Thomaston Board of Selectmen to order at 4 o'clock. Adjustments to the agenda. We actually have two. Amy would recommend a new hire for us to consider, and also I'd like to add discussing an attorney. Is there any public comment for, does anybody else have any adjustments? Okay. Terry, you all set?
I'm all set.
Okay, any public comment for items not on the agenda? Seeing none. So Amy, do you want to introduce?
Hi, Caitlin. So this is Caitlin Maynard. She is in the EMT class. She would like to become a driver for South Thomaston. She works in Thomaston as a driver also. So.
Caitlin, you want to just say a few words about yourself? You can be brief.
Yeah, I am, like Amy said, I'm in an EMT class right now through KVCC in Fairfield. I only have a few more weeks left before I can be done and I get to do my test. I currently drive in Thomaston, and I know that more help is better in this field of work. So yeah, I'd be interested in driving for South Thomaston. I live about 5 to 8 minutes away, so pretty close.
You live in Thomaston?
I live in Rockland.
Rockland, okay. Okay, yeah, Sue.
What brought you to this field? And
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
what brought you to this field and what you were doing?
I've met quite a few people that are in this line of work. And it's always something I've wanted to do. I've always enjoyed working in healthcare. I worked with adults with disabilities for several years. And I've really grown to enjoy it. So, you know, something I've been interested in, and I was encouraged by people that are also in this field of work and have, you know, I finally took the jump when I saw that there was an offering of free classes, and I've really been enjoying it.
Good, good, okay. So, okay, is there a motion to bring Amy's recommendation and hire a driver? Sorry, I forgot the name of it. Caitlin Maynard, right? Kate Maynard. Is there a motion?
I move we accept Amy's recommendation. Hire Caitlin Maynard, starting as a driver.
I'll second that.
Okay. Further discussion? Anything else you want to add? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, Amy. So we're going to move next to
Welcome aboard.
yeah. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Take care.
You as well.
Could you by chance close that door, or do you have it open on purpose? Okay, it's just sometimes. Okay, you hear this, you know. Thank you.
Our owl's
Mr.
not moving.
McCormick, do you know everyone again? Yep. Met, okay.
Yep. I've met everyone.
Okay. We voted at our last meeting to accept your proposal pending a successful negotiation of some arrangement with you.
Yep.
I think that's what we voted.
Our owl's not working.
So Jeff, well, you really wanted, I think suggested that we sit down, which I think was a good idea, but.
I've got two queries, I guess. Sure. Are you going to dedicate at least one day a month in the office?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's the plan, and I don't wanna, I may have been. I wanted to throw the idea out there, because I'm doing that in other towns. There's just some stuff like, reading deeds and getting them, transferred and stuff like that. It can be done from anywhere.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah, and it's just, you know, if it's not mandatory, I don't mind driving down here, don't get me wrong. But if it's not needed, and we can get on the same page with it, I'd like to at least try it.
Yeah.
But certainly I'll make myself available here at least one day a month. You know, to handle appointments or whatever.
Yeah, because I think the public is anticipating being able to come in one day a month.
Yeah. And they should be able to. Yep.
And doing the remote work, I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
But there are some baby steps we've got to take as we do
Absolutely.
it, because it can easily get very legally complicated.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so I want to avoid those if we can.
Well, I'm happy to work towards that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems to me that it is a possibility. I know it's possible because I'm doing it with other towns.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, let's face it, it's, again, don't get me wrong, it's roughly an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours for me down here. I don't mind it. I've done it for years. So, but if I don't have to do that, I'd at least like to keep it open and try to see if we can make that work.
Yeah,
But I'm not trying to avoid coming down here. That's not the effort here.
then the other thing is that.
Before we leave that subject, I just want to follow up on that a little bit. I currently is it every 2 weeks or every twice a month? How does it work now?
Well, I don't know what you guys
What the-
have in place. It was,
Twice a month? Okay, well, whether it's every 2 weeks or twice a month, that's basically the same. So we're talking about going to perhaps once a month, which I'm fine with too.
Yep.
But I do think it's important that just to stay connected with Terry and the office staff
absolutely. And I don't
that
think
we do
that
one-
would be
we do once a month. The flip side of that is, one of the things that I think I was frustrated a little bit about when we contracted with Rob, and I think Terry, maybe you have been too over the years, is sometimes it was difficult to get a hold of somebody with an email or get a response back. And if we're only talking once a month, I think it's important. First of all, I'd like to see that improve.
Yeah.
Where if somebody has a question or Terry has a question that we get, I mean, with modern technology, it seems to me that we shouldn't have to wait 2 weeks to get a response to an
I agree.
email. And I know you were probably assigned elsewhere, so you couldn't
Yep.
take your time on that job and work for us, but now that you're independent, you can move that around as you
Yeah.
want, so.
Yeah, I've got a lot
I would-
of flexibility.
I would just like to see that a little, hopefully, a little quicker response to some inquiry that we have. Because I think the world's changed a little and doesn't move at 3 miles an hour anymore. So,
That's right. Yeah.
so anyways, so go ahead,
Yes, there are several times where you would provide us with information that's going to end up being filed with the state. And the one that jumps to mind is the certified ratio declaration.
Sure.
And in it, we usually get the answers to our questions about what's being put on it. But that particular one, especially since we're no longer at 100% wood. I'd like you to be able to be prepared to to volunteer to, or when you present it, to give us this is what you ought to do with it. Because we had several options with, when it's at 94% on to whether or not we do a limited scope kind of reval, or we plan to do a full reval within 2 years, or, I mean, there are options available to us that that if we're not thinking about it at the time, are gonna just slip our mind. And so I just wanted to make sure that part of to let you know that part of our expectation is that when you come with those forms and you say, this is how I filled it out, and we understand all that, you say, but this is what it means to you, and this is what you should do. This is my recommendation.
Yeah,
on what you can do.
I'm happy to talk to you guys about that stuff.
Okay.
And I think that more than just 1 year's worth of information, it's probably more appealing if you had kind of a trend.
Yes.
You know, where are you losing 2% per year, 3% per year? You know, what are things looking like?
That's
Helps
exactly.
you plan for when you're gonna need to do something. Yeah, we can certainly talk about that.
And kind of along those lines, another thing that frustrated me in the past was, not so much when you were here exclusively, but, we get stuff dumped on us the night of a meeting, or the day, you know, Terry would say, Jay dropped these off today, you need to sign them. And I got quite frustrated by that. I mean, we're pretty much meet regularly, not always, we're meeting now, but, you know, everybody else, we sort of demand that, you know, have your stuff. If you want us to consider something, not that we don't adjust the agenda, but, you know, you need to have it there the Thursday before, so we can look at it, ask questions.
Yeah.
So, and that actually, I think, deteriorated after you weren't here exclusively. And I remember one example, we just got an abatement recommendation on the form, and it said there was absolutely no indication as to why we were abating this. And we actually tabled, I think, and I said, I need more information. No, I'm not gonna just sign off on this. I mean, why are we abating? You know, 2 sentences would have done it, you know, bedroom torn down, you know.
Yeah.
But, sometimes it's on the form. So that's one thing. And the other question is, since we're thinking about Zooming and stuff, rarely do we have an assessors agent attend a meeting when there's assessors discussion going on. And I guess I'm asking you, are you flexible enough that you could zoom in for a few minutes or on a meeting ahead of time, particularly if you knew ahead of time?
I will certainly try to make myself available for some of that stuff.
Okay.
Yes. It's just gonna depend on where I'm working. So I've currently got 3 other towns.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
But you're not opposed.
If I can plan.
You're not opposed to
Right.
zooming in for 10 minutes in an evening if you're available.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Because I think that kind of goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah.
And then the other question I actually have several questions. So your proposal was on a per hour basis.
Yeah.
And I know in the past we paid on a per day basis. I
Right.
actually prefer the per hour basis because I think it lets you be more flexible and,
Yep.
you know,
And it makes the remoting easier.
right, exactly. I mean,
Working from home, showing his hourly is
Yeah.
easier than saying I'm working for you all day long.
Yep.
It's not as credible as I work for you for an hour here and an hour there.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, it does, it
Yeah.
does, and that could be the case from my home office. You know, I may break a day up and
Yeah,
say, you know,
Yeah.
I have 3 hours worth of stuff that I can do for South Thomaston. And then I'll spend the other 5 hours.
well, no,
on other town.
you might spend an hour and, you know, Terry sends you an email, you might do some
Yeah.
research.
Yeah,
Time to get back to us, you booked an hour for South Palmerston and,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how our attorney does it. I mean, you know.
I have been trying to stay away from that. I wanna, but this is stuff that I'll talk to Terry and Bill and everybody about what I want to try to do, if we can, is kind of hold stuff a little bit, not to make people wait, you know, a whole month or anything. But if we can build up enough work so that it makes it feasible for me to spend a half a day.
Yeah.
What I don't want to end up doing is booking a day out for South Thomaston from home and only working 1 hour.
No, I
You
understand.
see what I mean?
Yeah.
But we can,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be just fine.
And then my other question is, would you consider, if you do come down once a month or more than once a month, whatever, is your travel time, work time? Billable time?
No,
Okay,
nope,
and,
nope, that will be
okay, so your mileage and your travel time is built, baked into your rate, basically.
correct.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right,
Which is, again, that's why I would like to try to
sure,
start this, so, and I think it will be
yeah, I do.
very
I do.
doable.
Yeah, I do too. My only concern with swapping is, and I think I've expressed this to you before, is you're one person.
Right.
And if something happens to you, but you did just bring your.
Don't wish me to fall off.
I know. What's the plan?
So the plan, I actually do. I thought about that, and I've had that same comment from other towns.
Well, it's a reasonable question.
To be completely honest, with you. I will say, first of all, I will say that is the most common, situation. For most of the towns, most of the municipalities, a single assessor is pretty much, that's the most common.
Yep, and we had it for years. We had
Yep,
employees.
and,
Yep.
so, you know, that being said, RJD has a fair amount of towns. There's a couple other firms out there that, you know, would fall in that same category, but the majority is single assessor. That being said, I do have, a plan in place if something were to happen to me and prevent me from being here, you know, for a period of time. I've got a good close friend, who I've worked with a lot in the past. He's a certified assessor, been doing it for 15 years. He's got multiple towns, he's worked with the state. He's very credible. And he could step in and fill in for me. If need be, it won't have to happen, I'm sure. But if it does.
I heard
I've heard
that.
that before.
But that is the plan anyway. And he and I have actually talked about it too. And I've offered the same sort of service for him if need be. So,
Okay.
Yep.
That helped me a lot. Sue?
I think you guys have covered most everything.
Okay, and this is effective January 1, which is now right around the corner. Actually, we probably should have that door open, shouldn't we? Because this is a public
Yeah.
meeting.
I tried to have that a little bit.
I meant the fire department door. But that's okay, sorry.
I shot that one before.
Oh, thank you. So I don't remember, did we have a written contract, in your proposal, or do you have something I can't remember what we had,
Well,
to be honest.
attached to the request for proposal that I had, there was a sheet that I filled out by hand.
Yeah, that was the bid form, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But didn't we have
We did have a contract at one point. It wasn't set up on an hourly basis. That's
Right.
what kind of threw me a little bit when I saw this one.
Yeah.
And I almost didn't fill it out hourly, but I figured that's how you were taking bids and I didn't want to come in, you know, weird compared to everybody else, so.
Well, I think we wanted to try to move in that direction.
Yeah, and that's fine. It does make sense for what we're looking to do, but, yeah, I mean, I had this initially, but again, it's not an hourly format.
Right.
I can make some changes to this if you'd like, and,
All right, and we have your insurance.
and send it through the carrier.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Is that what you want? That's fine.
Yeah, that'd be fine, yeah, and then we can look it over.
And then you can look it over and sign it. We still got time before,
Yeah,
before I'll be down.
well, I think we need to designate, this is not meeting again, though, we probably need to designate someone the authority to sign. Either Terry or me as the chair or someone.
I think we know those two.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're also gonna need, obviously, paying, you know, W-9s and all that stuff, right? Yeah, but you can work that stuff out, yeah. Okay, is that, you wanna put that in the form of a motion?
the only other question I've got is what do we want the term to be? Do we want to start out a year, do we want to start out 3 years, or you got a preference?
Well, again, if I look back to the form that I filled out there, the bid form, it had asked on here, hourly rate per year,
Yeah.
for year 1 and year 2. So it looked to me like a 2-year deal.
That's okay.
And I filled them both out. I'm not looking to increase rates from, this year.
Let's go ahead and let's do a 2 year.
I mean, I think, personally, it's a little different with Kevin, because I know he hasn't been our
Right.
agent, but he has been our agent, you know. So it's a little different, but I think, I mean, I'd like to at least have 2 years. And I think, you know, particularly if we were coming with someone new, by the time you learn your way around, the year's gone, I mean, you know. So,
Yeah,
I'd like to at least. Well, we can put words in there like, 2 year contract, and if everybody agrees within 90 days or prior to 90 days to the expiration, that it's extended 3 years, for example.
okay.
yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. I mean, to make it clear that, you know, because this is, to me, this is not the type of thing you bounce around. It's not like mowing the lawn.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's
The only
a learning curve here.
Yeah, the only catch is for him, because he set an hourly rate.
Yeah.
And so if he sets an hourly rate on day 1 for 5 years from now.
I don't know that I would do.
No.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's gonna happen,
Right.
you know, but I feel comfortable doing it for 2.
We do
Yeah.
for 2, and
Yeah.
then we, and so if everybody agrees 90 days prior, then we extended 3 years
At a rate to be
at a
negotiated.
rate to be negotiated.
We can put that right in the contract. Fair enough?
Yeah.
And if we can't come to an agreement, then. But
I
I'm sure we'll.
I do have just one question
Mhm.
for you. The only thing I didn't see, you know, on this form that I filled out is, again, it's been, I guess, I don't know if it was actually part of the contract for RJD to be here twice per month. I know at one time, the reason I say that,
It was,
40
40
days,
days.
that's what I thought.
yeah, 40 days.
That's what I thought I remembered, so, I guess, is that what we're shooting for now?
I think-
And if we come up short of that, then it is what it is.
I mean, I think
Are you-
I personally feel we're shooting at, unless you tell us differently, I think the hours are gonna be 8 times 40. Because sometimes when you have more out, I mean, obviously, when you're doing
Yeah,
field work and.
Yeah.
I mean, but twice per month was the number of days we wanted someone in the office, right? And the
I
40,
don't know, it's always just been 40 days.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess personally, I just assumed we were still working on a 40, even though we switched to hourly, we were working on 40 times 8 in my mind, but
Yeah, that's what was in my mind, and that's more from a budgeting perspective. than
Right,
anything
okay.
else.
yeah, I mean, I don't, if you tell us all of a sudden you need.
Well, that's what I'm
If
looking
you
for
need
too,
8
though.
times 50, then we need
Yeah.
to budget differently.
We won't need that.
Yeah.
We won't need that. We've
So-
always. When I worked for RJD, with one of the other, selecting crew, it was told to us that, you know, that 40 days was budgeted. And we were to use them 40 days up. If we had remaining days, they wanted us, at that time, the select board wanted us to use them to do reviews of properties. And so that's what we did. It was never a lot of remaining days, like maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4. So we'd come through,
Yeah.
we'd be completely done with our year's work in, say, 37 days. And we'd use the other 3 days to actually go out and knock on doors and review properties.
I mean, my
So-
sense is we've got this down to a pretty good,
Yeah,
and we've got a lot of history here and we
yeah.
got it down to what it takes. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, and I can tell you, that's
So-
what it is. It's between.
So why don't we just
35 and
include
40.
some language that would be not to exceed whatever 40 times 8 is.
Yeah.
Hours.
Yeah.
Without permission from the select board.
Yeah, yeah.
And then even that leaves it open if you come and say, geez, they just built this, you know,
Yeah,
who knows what's gonna happen, you know?
Right.
that,
I like that, just so that we kind of have some
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, because we certainly, like I said, if you all of a sudden bill us for 50 days, we don't have enough money.
I'm sure that won't.
Yeah,
I've been here.
Yeah.
Enough to know about what it takes
Yeah.
for this town, so.
but there's
Good.
nothing good like having something in writing, though, you know?
I agree.
So, okay, are we set?
Yep, I think so.
Okay, Terry, you got enough to go on?
For the contract?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure?
And I don't want to bounce it off me.
Yeah, you can bounce it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, so.
Do we have a
but-
base to go on, just use RJB?
Yes.
Well, I thought Kevin was gonna give you.
Yeah,
something.
so I will edit the, I will edit this contract for the assessor's agent service, that I provided, I don't know, September 13th is when I was here and
Yeah.
before.
And get.
And I'll just edit that to, instead of a daily rate, it'll be hourly.
Yeah. And you'll put in the language about not to exceed and blah, blah, blah. or-
Sure.
Yeah.
And if you like it, you can sign it. If you don't,
Well,
then we'll.
I think we're gonna make a motion, hopefully authorizing Terry to sign it. If we're done with the discussion, we'll take that motion.
I make a motion that we authorize Terry to sign a contract for ATM assessing for 2 years with 3-year extension offer on it. For $75 a month.
I'll second that motion.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Again.
Thank you all, I appreciate it. And, you need me to hang around?
No,
Okay.
no, we got other things we need to deal with, so we can't.
Good.
And you gotta get back to us, so.
Yep, I will. I'll get that edited up and send it through to Terry and then she can.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any pass off stuff between RJD and what they're doing, or if you can just.
I'm gonna go out there and browse around for a minute, just to see what I see.
Okay,
And,
yeah, I don't know if, he hasn't been here much.
recently,
He was here last
He has,
Thursday.
and he's processed a lot of the
He said he's gone through all the tax.
property stabilization. Yeah,
oh, wow, yeah,
yeah, and he's approved all
all but
the
one.
one or something, or, you know, but, you know, you might wanna double check it,
okay.
and is he due back again?
He did not give us a date when he left.
Okay, so as far as we know, at this point, they're done. And we have not notified them that they're done yet, so that's something else I think we need to do, is send them a letter saying that we've thanked them for their service over the years, and we've elected to go with another, agent. I don't think it's gonna come as a huge surprise. What? Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, thank you
Thank
all.
you.
We'll see you around.
Yes, sir. See y'all later.
And Terry, you obviously have all of his contact information and.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Talk to y'all later.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
Okay, is there a motion to enter executive session to discuss a personnel matter?
I'll make a motion, we enter executive session in accordance with Title I, Chapter 3.1, paragraph 405A to discuss personnel matter.
Is there a
I'll
second?
second that.
Okay, is there further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And we'd like to include Brian and